Mature content warning. This computer software contains content that may be unsuitable for some players, including depictions of violence, sexual conduct, abuse, rape, mental illness, murder, discriminatory language, and suicide. This work does not in any way endorse or affirm criminal acts or violations of human rights. By continuing beyond this point, the user agrees he or she or they acknowledge the above does not find such content described above offensive nor obscene and is requesting this content as in good mental health.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Wait, let me just enlarge myself here. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Cora Vaughn, usually a streamer on Twitch, but today we are back with Hashihime of the Old Book Town. As always, I don't remember what happened in the previous episode, but we're all in here for a good treat. Okay, so without further ado, because we are on a tight deadline, let's just start with the game, shall we? Right, we left off at... So we transported backwards with the puddle, and then we're now at Hakase's place. I think we left off like that, I think. I can't be sure. What she brought out was tea. It had an awfully earthy smell. I brought it to my mouth to blow on it as I watched rain falling in the garden. Shortly after, a black car arrived in front of the gate. Oh god, I can't read. The one who came jumping out umbrella-less was Professor, or Hakaseka. I stood up and opened the door before he could. Hakaseka rushed in along with the sound of the rain. Once he was right in front of me, he clutched his heaving chest. Wait, let me move myself. Okay.
突然お伺いして申し訳ありません。その
It wasn't the first time we met, but we hadn't been formally introduced yet either, so we had ended up like this. At Professor's return, the maids came out from their respective rooms. They brushed their clothes off in silence.
少し奥の部屋でお話ししましょうか。
He staggered up the stairs and I followed behind him.
私のことわかりますか？
梅鉢堂の店員さんですよね。
はい、押しかけてすみません。
いえ、でもどうして僕の住所が？
I pulled the scrap of paper from my pocket.
あなたの住所です。こんなこと言っても信じてもらえないかもしれませんが。
How should I explain? I pulled one of the goldfish watering cans from my pocket.
違うんです。盗んだわけじゃなくて、これはあなたからいただいたんです。時間跳躍と聞いてご理解くださいますか？
時間跳躍。
これは未来であなたからいただいたのです。
Professor stopped in his tracks. He was about to turn left but turned right instead.
確かめさせてください。
His son's collection of watering cans, we know it. With a few words, he brought me to an unusual room. There was a goldfish watering can nestled in each of the square shelves. It was so tacky, it was almost artistic.
その金魚お借りしてもよろしいですか？
When I handed to him without a word, he compared to one that is already there.
間違いありません。これは僕の金魚浄土だ。棚の金魚の数も足りているし。となると、やはり君は。
Professor's eyes opened wide as he suddenly took my hand.
すごい。君は本当に未来から来たのですね。
え
え。Even though he had said there was a precedent, he was still too quickly to buy it.
未来で僕は君とお近づきに。
はい。氷川喜十郎さん。あだ名は博士。
He's having a grand old time. Oh god, Hakase-kun, we all love him. Professor let out an almost agonizing shriek as his legs gave out.
未来の僕はもうそんなところまで進んで。
That far? Only weirdo would introduce himself as professor, though.
ところで玉森くん、僕のコレクションは見ましたか？
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
はい。
ああ、君が喜ぶ姿が目に浮かびます。
I love this guy. Professor eventually put his hands on the wall, letting out a sob. When I looked down at him coldly, Haruka-san appeared.
玉森くん、彼の生態に興味を持つでないぞ。
I won't.
興味なんて持ちませんよ。ちょっと引いてます。
それより玉森さん、東洋キネマに行かなくていいんですか？水上さんがなんで玉森さんに嘘をついて活動に行ったのか直接問い詰める機会ですよ。
忘れるところだった。
I set the goldfish in front of the writhing professor and rushed down the path we'd come from.
玉森くん、一体どこへ？
休養を思い出したんです。
その用って僕にあるんじゃないですか？一剣とサザンから聞きました。庭先に君が突然倒れていたと。
あなたへの用事はその金魚上路を返しに来ただけです。
でも
Professor came after me.
ごめんなさい、驚かせて。でもこれは君に持っていてほしいんです。この金魚は仲良くしたいと思える友人にお渡ししているんです。ですからどうぞ僕の気持ちを。
気持ちは Gladly.
いらないです。
どうしてこんなに可愛いのに、どうしてでしょう。
かわいいのに。I returned to the
お
foyer.
気に触りましたか？お荷物となってしまいましたか？
今日は本当にそれだけなんです。
せめて車で見送らせてください。サザン、送って差し上げて。
かしこまりました。
大丈夫です。お構いなく。
でもお体を冷やしたら大変です。なんだか今の君は熱っぽい。余計なこと言ってごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
Aw, he's just worried for me. Just take the ride, bro. We gotta save up money. Now that Professor mentioned it, I did feel dizzy at times. I think it's probably all the jumping back. You know, it must have like a toll on you or something, right? No longer wanting to be under his gaze, I went outside. Sozan came after me holding an umbrella.
お送りいたしますわ。
すみません。博士も突然驚かせてすみませんでした。
いいえ、僕はこれから仕事に戻りますが、また夕方梅鉢堂に伺いますから、その時ゆっくりお話ししましょう。
ええ。
I realized Haruhiko-san and the frogman were looking up at the tree for some reason.
春彦さんたち行きますよ。
立派な木ですね。何を吸い上げたらこうも大きくなるのでしょう。
Blood! Again, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I know nothing about gardening, so it's pointless to even think about it.
それ
Wow.
ではどちらまでお送りいたしましょう。
東洋キネマまでお願いいたします。
Is it okay for her to drive us? She's not very reassuring driver.
ええ、
東洋キネマですよ。神保町にある映画館です。
活動写真っていいですよね。
It had gone in one ear and out the other, but I wanted to repeat it clearly to her at least once. The car departed the Hikawa residence. What's with me on reading these days? It's really bad. Haruhiko-san turned around and seemed to be waving at Professor.
やめてください、春彦さん。
いいじゃないか。どうせ彼にはオラが見えん。
ですが、
鬼人ではあるが、こうして車を手配してくれるとは憎からぬ。
Indeed.
僕は博士のことを嫌いになれないな。なんだか寂しそうで。
They were starting to make me feel awkward, so I blew them away with a puff of air.
お坊ちゃまは活動写真を見られないのです。お目目を悪くしておられますから、暗い中で物を見ることはお控えいただいているのです。
それはおかわいそうに。
ですから私はたまに一人で活動へ参じ、後に活弁がごとくお坊ちゃまにご説明するのです。この前は金色夜股を見ましたの。玉森様はもうご覧になって。
Did she mean the gold demon?
はい。でも活動の方はまだ。
逆に私は原作を知らないんですけども、寛一が恋する富山を追って熱海まで行き、彼をたぶらかしたお宮を足毛にする場面は濡れてしまいました。
どうやったらそんな解釈が。
男は女よりもか弱い生き物なんですね。私ったらまた変なこと、お気を悪くされました？
いいから前見て運転してください。
ごめんあそばせ。
Sazan-san said as she avoided a car in the opposite lane. May have been exactly as she said. Women were the ones with strong hearts.
本当にごめんなさい。
Oh my god, Binky,
で
what's
も
wrong?
私嬉しくって、お姉様も内心同じ気持ちでいらっしゃると思うわ。お坊ちゃまに新しいお友達がいたなんて。
My god.
サザンさんと一剣さんは博士の何なんですか？
ただの女中でございます。幼い頃よりお坊ちゃまを見守るただの女です。
それにしてはあなたたちは似ている。例えばその白い目とか、博士とあなたたちはまるで家族のように似通っている。
I don't think you should say that, Damamori, but sure.
あら、家族だなんて。嬉しいお言葉です。
Then again, they did get a lot of work, you know. They could just shave their face so that they look more like the family. It could be that.
疑問に思われるのなら、あとはお坊ちゃまにお聞きなさって。
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Hakase would not be shy in telling you anything. She has been telling me to become friends with Hakase-kun. My cat's doing funny poses. It's freaking hilarious. Arigatou gozaimasu. When I happened to look outside, I saw Toyokinama's signboard spinning around and round. We gotten here so fast. Of course we had. Sazan-san had driven like a mad woman after all. She got off the car and waited for me with an open umbrella so I wouldn't get wet.
どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。本当に何から何まで。
Wow, we got their umbrella. Fancy.
川森様はお坊ちゃまの大切なお友達ですから。
She returned to the car and waved at me as she drove away. The car swiftly disappeared into the traffic of the main street. She'd probably remember my name eventually.
玉森くん、その手にあるのは金魚じょうろじゃないかい？
ええ、もう一匹もこっそり置いていこうと思ったんですが。
After seeing Sazan-san as she spoke about Professor, I had a hard time leaving it. Plus, when I get a closer look, it seemed to be handmade. Professor was an inventor. Manufacturing tin toys would be a piece of cake to him. If that was the case, even I couldn't turn it down.
そんなことより玉森さん、館内に入って水上さんを探しましょう。
そうだったな。
I could hear the film narrator throughout the door. It seemed that the show had already started.
おい店員。
はい。
It was the caramel seller who came out from the back.
また君か。朝から晩まで大変だな。
Whoa! Did you guys hear that? There's just a big thunder. My cat was surprised.
こっちとら金に困ってんだよ。
鑑賞券は余ってないか？
あるけどいいんすか？途中だよ。
構わん。
はい。じゃあ30銭。
And I'm in 30 cent in exchange for a half ticket sub. Then he got behind me and hurriedly pushed me by the back.
画面が明るくなったら入れますよ。俺が合図したら扉開けてください。
はい、わかった。と、その前に、おかっぱ頭の糸目の男は見なかったか？
ああ、その人ならさっき出て行きましたよ。始まって30分くらいで。
30 minutes? There was no way someone like Minakami would leave before the end of the story.
やっぱり干渉はやめだ。金を返してくれ。
何言ってんすか。 もうレジに入れちゃったからダメっすよ。
なんだと？レジってそのズボンのポケットがか？
いちいち返金してたんじゃきりないでしょ。いるんすよね、たまに。つまらないから金返せって。
それとこれとは関係ないだろ
関係ないだろう。
イチャモンはイチャモンだろうが。
A true Tokyoite. I clicked my tongue, almost spitting, and thrust the half ticket back at him. I ran back and out to the rain. All I've done was waste 30 cents. Could have asked first, you know?
どうします玉森さ
う。みなかみを探す。
ん。でもここからどうやって見つければ。
私を手こずらせよって。あったら一発ぶん殴ってやる。
I wouldn't be satisfied until I did. Ignoring the frogman who seemed to want to object, I got onto the streetcar. I was going to need to be more careful with money soon. Don't be scared, Pinky. I came to the Oizumi residence. At this rate, even Minakami was heading to the university. It was likely we'll pass each other. If I was really going to ambush him, then this was the best place to do it. Once I was standing in front of the entrance, I looked around feverishly. That was when the door opened.
そこにいるのはタマさんじゃありませんか？
Tama-san child Wisinka. I forgot how much I love Madam's voice. Oh my
ご
god,
きげ
Pinky.
んよ
ごきげんよう。何用かしら？
Nani yokashira?
う。みなかみに用があって待っているのです。
皆さんは外出中よ。戻ってくるのは夕方頃になるんじゃないかしら。
Madam is so pale, don't you think?
まさかそれまでここで待つ気？
はい。
小じきじゃあるまいし、こんなところに立ち尽くさないでちょうだい。
みなかみが来たらすぐ行きますから。
今すぐ出て行きなさい。何ですか？
いえ、
Oops. I didn't learn from my mistake from the last episode. Well, Haruka-san laughed.
堂々とした振る舞いだな、玉森君。家主の迷惑を顧みないそのずぶとい神経。確実に君が人の礼法を忘れている証拠だ。
失礼なこと言わないでください。
人への当たりも一層強く。
Sorry. I don't know. Eventually, Madam approached me.
立っていられるのも迷惑ですから、うちに入れてあげます。ですけれど、玄関より先には上がらないでちょうだいね。
Ooh, Madam. Arigatou gozaimasu.
ありがとうございます。
Called it. Losing her patience, Madame pulled me inside as she let out a long sigh.
では私は宝塚仲間とお茶してきます。3時間ほどで戻りますから、妙なことするんじゃありませんよ。
はい。
もちろんです。ご好意ありがとうございます。
それとタマさん、やはりメガネはお似合いにならなかったわ。
にゃ。
そのままでいなさい。
When I gave her a wry smile, Madame smiled briefly before closing the front door.
伊達メガネ嫌われていたか。
なかなか評判良くないね。オラも外そうかな。
I personally like it, not gonna lie. But then again, I have a certain liking towards Megane people, so.
春彦さんも伊達だったんですか？
What an unusual self-conscious hallucination. Then, ignoring Madame's warning, Haruhiko-san and the frogman walked into the house.
ちょっとどこ行くんですか？
オラたちは座敷で休むことにする。幻想の特権だな。
特権特権。
My hallucinations were distancing themselves from me again. I closed the eyes, following them, and lay down exhausted. I was tired. Assaulted by drowsiness, I couldn't even lift myself up. Jet lag while still in Japan, your laziness really know no bounds. When I started to snore a bit, I scolded myself harshly. Suddenly, I heard the sound of a quiet footsteps next to my ear, which was flat on the floor. Oh! It was Minakami's cat.
お前、久しぶりだな。
I kind of forgot he has a cat.
と言っても、この私とは初対面か。
The cat moved only its mouth, but there was no meow.
鳴き方を知らんのか。にゃ。
Yeah, that's so cute! Yeah. The kitten moved its mouth clumsily.
にゃ。かわいいやつよ。
Kawaii Yatsuya. He's so cute! Oh god, I love it. You jelly, Binky? Are you jelly? He climbed onto my lap and slipped into my pocket.
なんだ、私と一緒に寝るか。お前の名前は何というのかな。
Tama-chan. That's his name.
さすがの猫だ。
The cold, metallic sound of the tinkling clock overlapped with the kitten's quick heartbeat. It was comforting, like being in the womb. Like it was telling us all to sleep. I immediately fell towards the brink of dreams. What? Shoes?
はい、どうだ？
Oh, my heart. Is this when he first got our shoe? Oh god, I can't. Minakami asked, looking up at me.
きつくないか？
Kitsukenai-ka? Ah, I love him.
少しつま先が痛い。
じゃあ今度はこっちにしてみよ
Look at this Cinderella-ass scene. He untied the laces. I replied as if they were all normal, but just where was this? I looked outside. There was a crowd overflowing with life and going to and fro, so it didn't seem to be Jinbo-cho. No, this was the shoe store in Ginza. This was a scene from 2 years ago, right after we came to the capital. Did that mean this was a dream? Minakami promptly opened another box and placed a pair of shoes one size larger next to my feet. I saw his dirty Geda as he knelt on one knee.
なあ、みなかみ。やっぱり帰ろう。私は別に靴なんていらん。今のままでも十分履ける。
う。玉森は物持ちがいいからな。だからたまには奮発してもいいんじゃないか？
人の金で奮発しても嬉しくない。お前こそ新しい靴を買え。
さあ、今度の靴はどうだ？
ん？ちょうどいい。
よかった。似合ってるよ。
Cute. What is this? What is this sweet moment? Oh my god, Minakami, you're wattagata, wattagata.
何か企んでないか？言っておくが、見返りを求められても何も出んぞ。
うん、期待してない。
Minakami gave me his usual cheerful smile as he dodged explaining his behavior. I didn't seem to be on a whim. On the other hand, it didn't seem like he thought much about it either. It was always me who felt feeling awkward and excited. I was always nervous. I didn't show my manuscript to Kawase to question my true worth. He was mean, full-mouthed guy, but he never lied. That's why I wanted to find out what Minakami's true feelings were from Kawase. What is this? He probably thinks he can make you happy by going along with it and enjoying your shit stories. I'm saying that his praise is just flattery, which was true. Point taken. There's no single good thing about you. Why did Minakami? I'm so sick of your fantasies. Stay by my side. Because he liked me, I guess? I don't know. When I suddenly opened my eyes, I felt something odd at my feet.
起きたか？
Oh, Mina.
みなかみ。
For some reason, he was kneeling by me, tying my shoelaces.
ほどけてたぞ。ほら、そっちの足も。
え？
おかしいな。緩めないときついか。でも、あんまり緩めると足をくじく原因に。
I smacked his hand away and pushed him down by his shoulder.
玉森
Tamamori!
嘘つきが。
え？
嘘つき野郎が、この野郎！
I straddled him and grabbed him by the collar. Oh! Yes!
ちょっとタマさん、ミナさん、何事ですか？
Oh no, the madam's back. Also, I love his voice! Oh my god.
俺にも状況が。
私を嘲笑っていたのか？私をバカにして楽しかったか？
ちょっと待ってくれ、玉森。
Tamamori! This time he grabbed my collar and pushed me onto my side. I underestimated him because he was a bookworm, my face heated up with a sense of inferiority. Ah, that was sexy as hell though. Hi!
触るなバカ！
Sawarana Buska. Oh my god. I just said buska instead of baka. I don't know.
熱でもあるのか？
平熱だ！重い！どけ！
すまん。
Minakami moved away from me in a hurry. We continued to sit on the floor for a while, neither of us able to get up.
すまん、玉森。全くもって意味がわからない。
活動に行く約束はなしだ。
Hmm.
明日、私は家から一歩も出ん。そしてお前も家から一歩も出るな。
そんな無茶苦茶な。
Minakami offered his dumb excuses. Classes, the university, noon.
定大？昼？講義？はぁ？
Huh?
嘘は我が身を滅ぼすぞ。
Minakami's eyes opened wide in surprise. Unable to bear looking at the stupid face of his, I ran out of the Oizumi residence.
ひどいヒステリーだったな、玉森くん。
Pretty much, yeah.
伝えたいことは他にもあったはずじゃないのか。
I couldn't. When I looked at his face, I couldn't pretend nothing had happened. I'm sick of your fantasies. I couldn't pretend I didn't know.
玉森。
Tamamori. Minakami came running after me. He blocked my way, so I had no choice but to stop.
玉森。すまなかった。
Sumanakatta. Ah, my heart.
お前の言う通り、俺は明日の昼、帝大には。
もし目の前に病に苦しむじじいがいたとして、それを治せる落ち水を持っていたとしても、多分私は差し出さない。
Huh?
だがそいつがお前なら、私は迷いなく差し出すだろう。
玉森。
Tamamori.
意味がわからんだろう。でもこれは例え話じゃない。お前は明日死ぬ。私はお前を助けるために何度も同じ時間を。
Minakami let out a short sigh. He hid his face behind the edge of his umbrella.
みなかみ、
He slipped by me.
みなかみ、絶対に水道橋には行かないでくれ。絶対に家から一歩も出ないでくれ。さもないとお前は。
妄想はいい加減にしてくれ。何事かと思ったが、もう付き合いきれそうにない。
Hmm.
またそれか。
Back then, you made sure to let it slide. Weren't you the one who understood the disposition that made my life difficult, who smiled and calmed me down?
Minakami.
Minakami laughed. Still, I prayed. I want you to take me seriously, even just a little. I want you to see the possibility, even just a little. I wasn't spotting ridiculous lies. I joked, but I never lied. I really wasn't trying to hurt anyone. But down inside, I was a liar. I made countless works of fiction. I created illusions. Minakami saw them all with his own eyes. It might have been difficult to say he believed them, though. Poor Tamamori, honestly, I feel so bad for him. Once I got off the streetcar and returned to Umebachi, though, I heard voices arguing.
だから貴様など知らん。
Oh!
玉森くん、そんなどうして？
Oh, poor guy!
出てけ。
Oh, I forgot about the other me in the shop. I guess I could flood the shop with tears in his eyes. I immediately hid myself in my umbrella, somehow managing to slip by him. I was in the shop holding a duster and muttering as he wandered around. I came up close behind him and tried asking him some questions.
彼には何をされた？意味のわからんおもちゃを持ってこられた。ブリキの竹とんぼやら絶対錆びない包丁やら一体何の押し売りか。
Aww, he's cute.
押し売りなどではない。は？
I turned around, his eyes opening wide when he saw the most surprising thing there.
次から次へと何なのだ。
With those last words, he turned to water and vanished. I went to take my ticket from his pocket, but my hand stopped before I could. I quickly closed the shop door and went
もうここに
upstairs.
着くのかい？玉
I... Pinky!
水上くんとはこれっきりのつもりなんだね。
これっきりって、私はちゃんと忠告しました。やるべきことはやった。
あとは彼任せということか。
He was probably going to ignore my warnings anyway. I grabbed the edge of my futon and curled up like a bagworm. Haruhiko-san sat down heavily, looking down at my pitiful self.
君はどうして水上くんから信頼を得られないと思う？
私が空想家だからでしょう。
そう、その通りだ、玉森くん。だが困ったことに、それが君の良さでもある。それに水上くんが空想家を嫌っているわけではない。
Then why? Swallowed down those words.
なぜと今君は思っただろう。同じ空想家である夢の旧作と自分、一体何が違うのだろうと。
I shut up and brought my face close to his.
私がいつ旧作の名を出しましたか。邪推はやめていただきたい。
作家の価値を問うのに、他の作家を引き合いに出すことは上等だろう。
だからといって、4人にもよって。
旧作の空想にあって君の空想にないもの。君はすでにそれが何か分かっているはずだ。エクスペリエンスだよ。
Experience だよ。Wow, sudden English word there.
エクス？
川瀬君の言った通り、君には経験が足りないのだ。虐待もない君が虐待もない空想を書き殴ってしまうのは当然のこと。だが今の君は違う。信じた者に裏切られ、傷つき、苦しんだ。それと引き換えに今、君は分子的成長を遂げた。さあ、この硯に向かって空想を、いや、新たな幻想を書いてみなさい。
It just basically says that if you have trauma, woo, you can be a great writer. I took the pen from Haruhiko-san and placed my arms on a pure white manuscript. All the people who could be called great authors must have experienced this pain. Considering that, a few authors that must have gone through hell and back came to mind. Kisako Yumeno. I wondered what he must have been tormented by to write Dogrammagra. I end up letting go of the pen.
現実から逃避するつもりはありません。今はただ眠りたいんです。
それは逃避とどう違うんだい？
I covered my trembling fingertips with the palm of my hand.
幻想を書きなさい。
書けるわけないじゃないですか。こんな状況で。
大作家は息を吐くように物語を輩出しなければならない。
私は大作家じゃない。書けないんですよ。
Enough of your delusions. I thought something was wrong, but I can't be around you anymore.
あんなこと言われて、私は。
My poor child.
逃げるなら、もう一度自分と向き合ってからにしなさい。オラたちではなく、自分の心と。
My own heart? Did that mean conversing with this guy? It wasn't directly facing myself? Duh! But sure. If it wasn't, what exactly were this hallucination I was seeing? Repeating times over and over again was tearing my own heart apart. The world was rewinding. I wanted to write illusions, but neither my pen nor my arm would move. Would anyone be able to understand this pain? Suddenly I saw Naoshi-kun through the foggy window. That was impossible. This was the second floor.
前提としてあなたは何も持っていない。何の才能も価値もないしがない浪人生だ。だけどあなたは皆さんっていう天才の親友であることで自分も彼と同じように価値ある人間だと思い込んでいた。
なんでこれ？
前提としてあなたは何も持っていない。何の才能も価値もないしがない浪人生だ。
黙れ。
だけどあなたは皆さんっていう天才の親友であることで自分も彼と同じように価値ある人間だと思い込んでいた。
This Naoshi-kun was the Naoshi-kun I killed. Unable to bear the sight of him, I covered my head with my futon. It went dark before my eyes, but his face appeared behind my eyelids. Naoshi-kun.
前提としてあなたは何も持っていない。何の才能も価値もないしがない浪人生だ。
Don't make me hear it again and again.
もしかして君さ、君は水上が死んだことより水上が自分に何も残さなかったことにショックを受けてる。
Kawase.
もしかして君さ、君は水上が死んだことより水上が自分に何も残さなかったことにショックを受けてる。
Ah, he's really having it, huh? Poor guy, poor Tama. やめてください。
もしかして君さ、君は水上が死んだことより水上が自分に何も残さなかったことにショックを受けてる。
That's enough. Please stop.
もしかして君さ、君は水上が死んだことより水上が自分に何も残さなかったことにショックを受けてる。
Poor Tama.
その友達が死んだのに涙の一つ流れやしない。
They were flowing. Now, finally. But these tears weren't for anyone. They weren't for Minakami making me go back in time over and over again. Tomorrow he'll ignore my warnings and die. If I tied him up, gagged him, and locked him up, I'll probably be able to go through this nightmare. Why didn't I do that? The reason was inside me. The reason for my tears was inside my heart. I didn't care about Minakami. It was like Naoshi-kun said, even if Minakami died, I still had Kawase. That was why when the irregulars regiment were trying to expose Kawase, I had betrayed Naoshi-kun at the last second. If I had Kawase, why was so desperate to save Minakami? Was it to reflect? To cry? I didn't want to know.
君は一体何を守ろうとしている？
これはあなたが見せる幻想ですか？もう散々だ。
Kawase was glad Minakami was dead. However, the sinful emotions I felt were worse than that.
玉森君。
I threw open the window and stood on the desk. Then I held back my tears and fell headfirst. Oh! We fell right into a puddle. Poor me. Poor Tama. I was suddenly on the streetcar. I was the only passenger. Or so I hoped, but unfortunately it was packed. There were no one to talk to in this closed, humid space. But if the streetcar became a time machine and we suddenly traveled through time into the future, I doubted anyone would bring up that strange phenomenon. Oh, it looks different outside. When are we going to move? Where's the conductor? Whatever. I thought to myself, my eyes must have been closed. They weren't indifferent, everyone just absorbed in their own conversations. 4. Wow. On the 3, we didn't really face anything. I mean, we faced a lot of self-reflection and freaking a lot of anxiety, but we didn't see if Minakami died or not, so. A cold wind blew by. It had just begun to rain. I wasn't sure why, but I was lying down in front of Umebachito. No, I knew why.
どうやら君は偶然水たまりに飛び込んでしまったようだな。
ここは
博士の言葉を借りれば、そう、ロの4といったところだろう。
My fourth jump. Haruhiko-san seemed to be ignoring my attempt to kill myself from the second floor. When I gave him a tired smile, he looked away, shamed.
また私は生かされたんですね。
後悔しているのかい？
いいえ、ただ少し吹っ切れました。あなたのおかげですよ、春彦さん。
I was reflected in his large glasses with a smile on my face that was even creeping me out. I went to my bachito and grabbed the duster like nothing had happened. After absent-mindedly fulfilling my duties for a while, a rumbling came roaring towards me. It was an earthquake. Another earthquake. I watched the landscape outside warp, but the Umebachito was as sturdy as ever, so it passed through the earthquake perfectly still. I expected nothing less from this warehouse-style building.
店主、ただいま戻りました。
はい。
Without noticing me, I headed up to the second floor. I came out from the bookshelf, gripped his sleeve, and slapped his shocked face with my palm. Like the others, he turned into water and vanished. I had already changed my goldfish water, so there was nothing to worry about. I took the wet clothes outside and lightly squeezed them. Even though it had just started to rain, there were already puddles at my feet. They seemed to be kind of dirty. I wasn't like Kase, so I despised myself for thinking that way.
玉森
ああ、
A man standing out in the rain wringing wet clothes must have been strange.
どうした？
なんでもない。
I said, tossing the clothes to the side of the shop. Minakami unwrapped the cloth he had brought with him and pulled out some books. He took a few and returned to the shelf slowly enough to make me yawn. I watched this daily scene with my chin resting in my hand. After Minakami finished returning all 20 books he borrowed, he went back and looked back along to the bookshelf. I can't read. Sorry. Then he let out a distant sigh, full of sense of accomplishment.
一段落ついてしまったかな。そういえば川瀬に批評をもらうとか言ってただろう。今日はどうだった？
何も。
何もってことはないだろ
うるさいな。黙れよ。
川瀬の横暴さが映ってる。あ、玉森らしくないな。これでも読んで元気出せ。
Minakami said as he handed me the last book left in his hand. It was Kyusaku's Yumenos Dokuramagra.
店の商品を借りっぱなしじゃ悪いからな。読み終わったら商品として並べてくれて。
I smacked his hand away. Yogramaga fell from his hand. After a look of shock, he smiled as he finally figured it out.
すまん。嫌われてしまったな。これも必要ないか。
It was the ticket for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
明日の夜一緒に行こ
Minakami looked relieved when I took it from him. I wrapped it to stretch right in front of his face. Surprisingly, he was still smiling, then lowered his head, casting a shadow over his face. He wrapped his left hand over the swollen right one, as only his lips formed a smile.
う。そうか。当然。
Oops. Sorry. That was a very important moment.
今まですまなかった。
Dozen? For everything? I kept quiet even though I wanted him to repeat these words to me more than anything else.
今日は古い友人がデートに来ているんだ。だからもう行くよ。
I feel bad for Minakami because Minakami in here doesn't know what's up. But at the same time, I know what's up and I'm still salty. So I don't really feel bad. I feel bad more towards Samawari by this point, not gonna lie.
お前は勉強頑張れよ。田舎に残したばあさんのためにもな。
That has nothing to do with this. I was going to throw out my usual comeback, but instantly fell silent. As if he'd seen through it, Minakami furrowed his brows but immediately hid behind the edge of his umbrella. Then, like a falling leaf, he swiftly passed me and disappeared. Minakami was gone. All that remained was the sound of the rain. As soon as it felt like I could finally breathe, I grasped my chest tight. Still, he always left a strange, lingering presence. Minakami never said goodbye. His departure were always vague. It made me think he would suddenly show up again if I called his name.
さあ、春彦さん、帰る男。水上を追跡しましょう。
We're finally doing this! Okay, great. Let's do it. Oh, I've been curious since the first... Oh, finally, we're gonna get to the bottom of this shit. According to Mikami, he was on his way to meet an old friend. However, he was actually going to see a film by himself, and according to the caramel seller, he would leave after less than 30 minutes. He was really suspicious. I followed after Minakami without telling the shopkeeper I was leaving the store unattended. He first went down Hakusan Street, glancing at the used bookstore as he walked, perhaps wondering if they were open. He must have been distracted by them. He ran into a salaryman in front of him and had to bow an apology.
あいつ、周りが見えてなさすぎる。
君も人のことを言えた義理かね。
Haruhiko-san tapped my shoulder and pointed behind me. Kato-kun and Toba-kun were on the street corners, collecting donations, staring right at me. They look great! Oh my god. I really like the glasses guy. And he little peeking through his eye. Oh! You'll grow up handsome, this kid. If Kudo-kun was around, he'll be looking at me with even colder eyes. I didn't have time to deal with you guys. I went after Minakami without a moment to spare. After that, Minakami headed straight for Toyo Kinuma and entered the lobby.
これじゃ中の様子が見えません。
案ずるな帰る男。中にはキャラメル売りの少年がいる。詳しい動向は後で彼に聞こう。
How much would he steal from me this time? I opened the box of caramels I bought before, and the three of us chewed on the caramel squares. After loitering around for a bit, the signal that the doors were opening went off, and the scarce gathering of people were stuck inside. Eventually, the caramel seller came out and looked around to make sure there were no other guests.
お兄さんはお客さん？
いや、
ふん。もうすぐ上映開始だけど、暇なら見てきます？
実は君に聞きたいことがあるのだ。おかっぱ頭の糸目の男を見なかったか？
I asked as I held out a caramel.
キャラメル1個で何が聞きたいんすか？
I figured that wouldn't work. I replaced the caramel in my hand with 50 cents.
ああ、そのお兄さんならさっき待合室でキャラメル1箱買ってくれたよ。でも今すぐ食べたいって感じじゃなかったな。
他には？
別にキャラメルの箱いじりながらぼーっとしてた。ただそのお兄さん糸目じゃなかったけど。
何？
はい終わり。
With a wild smile, he ran off.
糸目ではないとはどういうことだい？
He opened his eyes? I think the only one time we watch him open his eyes is when he fight with Kawase.
水上が目を大きく。と言っても当人比ですが、奴の目が大きくなるのはかなり真剣な時です。
Wait for it.
真剣にキャラメル箱ですか？
Suspicious, suspicious.
玉森くんのあの態度が相当答えたのだろう。悪いことをしたか。
Why would anyone be sad if the person they hated told them they hated them back?
やはりオラたちも活動写真を見るかい？
いいえ、あいつはどうせ30分もしないうちに出てくるんだ。そこをとっ捕まえて話を聞けばいい。
それまで暇ですね。
キャラメルはまだある。これで我慢しろ。
玉森くん。
もちろん春彦さんにもあげますよ。
Seriously, what was it these hallucinations? I popped another one into my mouth, continuing to keep an eye to the entrance to Toyokinama.
来ましたよ。
Haruki-san knocked over the go board I was currently dominating.
ほら、追うぞ、玉森くん。
His hallucinations sure like to disappear when it was convenient for him. I stuck my head out from behind the building, then ran up to Minakami with noticeably pronounced steps.
映画も見終わらぬうちにどこへ行く？古い友人には会えたか？
Oh, his eyes are wide. Minakami was getting flustered.
それにしても震える悪魔なあ、今日も明日も見たいと思う映画だったか？
どうしてここがなんで？
He seemed pretty shaken up, but that was fine with me.
私は80万年後でも1000年後でもない。たった3日後から来た。お前の行動などお見通しだ。信じてくれるか？
ああ、類行に80万年後の社会って作品があるだろう。
私はそんな非現実的なことを話しているのではない。
Okay, I skipped it for a reason because we heard him say that line so many times, and either way, he's gonna be cut off anyway, so.
様子がおかしい理由は分かったよ。
ん？
He was suddenly holding a brown envelope that I hadn't seen earlier. When I reached for it, he pulled it away so fast, it could have given me a paper cut.
なんだそれは。
More like, what's going on with you?
これはその
大学の宿題か？
そんなところだ。
Handing it to me, then taking it away like that. How suspicious!
玉森くん、そんなことをしに来たわけではなかろ
そうでした。
I stopped wasting my time.
すまん玉森、お前が何をしたいのか全くわからない。
わからないのはお前が理解しようとしていないからだろ。お前は明日通り魔によって殺される。私の忠告さえ守ればお前は死なずに済む。ただそれだけを言いに来た。
Minakami tried to speak, but immediately cut him off.
夢じゃないのだ。私は何度もこうして
物語としては面白いな。でも物語を書いているのは何もお前だけじゃない。
god, is that the paper thing that he was about to give was like his stories? Did he wrote stories? Is he Kisako Yumeno? Iki. Minakami said, leaving his envelope defenseless.
これは大学の手紙じゃない。俺が愛する作家の一番新しい原稿だ。
旧作か。すごいな、お前。そんなのよく手に入れたな。
お前の話はこれを読み終わってからでいいか。
わかった。だがその様子、ずっと観察させてもらうからな。
Minakami relaxed once he had my consent.
玉森が我慢できるなら俺は構わない。
We went back into the lobby of the Yokinama and Minakami pulled out the manuscript. It was 60 pages.
本当に待つのか。
さっさと読め。
ああ、できたら帝大の静かな図書館で読みたかったな。
I sat on the seat across him and glared at him sitting there.
古い友人というのは嘘だな。相手は新青年の編集者か？
うん。
Okay, so he was not Gizaku Yumeno, okay. But he did meet a writer. How did he get this book though? I don't know. We're not gonna question it, so yeah. Also, why am I not moving? I can't move. Okay, I can move now. Can I move? Okay, I can move. Oh god, what was that?
どうなんだ
I gave up. He was already in his own little world.
あれ、くせっ毛頭のお兄さん。おかっぱ頭のお兄さんに会えたんすね。よかったっすね。
I glanced at him, then looked away again. The caramel seller probably figured out that he had walked into something boring.
なんだか暇だね。
春彦さん、続きを打ちますか
I said, pulling out the go board and pieces from my pocket and lining them up.
オラはもう配置を覚えていないぞ。
私が覚えていますよ。
だが囲碁の勝敗は草履を履くまでわからない。ここからが本番だ。
ありません。
I lost.
なぜだ
オラはここの項をうっかりしてしまった。だがその後の18の16と19の14の交換が効いたな。
No, that wasn't what I meant. How could I lose to my own hallucination? I knocked over the go board like Haruhiko-san had done earlier and turned my face away in a huff. He said that the frogmen turned to each other, then chuckled before turning to dust and vanishing. Minakami took his time reading the manuscript. It was completely dark outside now, and another movie was playing. When that one ended, a crowd of people passed between us. Minakami returned the manuscript to the envelope. He must have finished reading it. Once the crowd had passed, it would have been his turn to talk. Annoyed, I fidgeted as I watched Minakami through the crowd. Suddenly, he was gone. I merely stood up on my tiptoes and looked around.
逃げられたな。
What did he mean by ran away? I weaved through the crowd, heading towards the exit. I was pushed back by the guests opening their umbrellas by the door, and a small line was starting to form. I ran outside in search of the color of Minakami's umbrella, as if it were a perfectly sunny day.
赤い番傘は
あそこだ、玉森くん。
Minakami quickly disappeared into an alley.
何を考えて
I rushed over to the alley, but their red umbrella disappeared down the next one.
どうする、玉森くん。また水たまりに飛び込むか？
いえ、今のやつが何を考えているのか知りたい。
The red umbrella stripped into the night fog and vanished. I chased him until I reached Hakusan Street.
右か、左か。
I went right, Elbikanda Bridge. If I went, Suido Bridge. Minakami had escaped down another side of road on Hakusan Street, so I couldn't see him anywhere. Without giving it much thought, I ran towards Suido Bridge. He wasn't going to listen to me? He didn't have to believe me anymore. As long as he listened. As long as he listened to my story and laughed like he always did. And yet...
Minakami!
Sure enough, the red umbrella stopped at Pseudo Bridge. As he previously looked down into Kanda Bridge, he dropped something into the water with a splash. White manuscript pages fluttered down. Once released, they floated on the rough winds and were struck by bullets of rain. They fell one by one into the river.
何してるんだよ。それ、旧作の大事なものじゃないのか？
すごく大事なものだ。明日には返すと約束立ててきていた。
ならどうして捨てた？
たった今、どうでもいいものになったから。
Because the story was shit. But is that only it? Is that the reason you killed yourself? I'm so mad about this. Okay, but let's just keep going.
嘘だ。
Hinakami, my manuscript, no. He looked so angry at Kawase when he didn't appreciate my story. Minakami wouldn't have such contradictory I can't read. Minakami wouldn't have such contradictory thought inside him. Minakami finally looked at me. I shrank back under that sincere gaze.
お前は勘違いしている。
All
俺
wrong?
は明日、通り魔に殺されると言ったよな。でも、それは違うよ。
違うって何が違うんだよ。間違ってるのはお前の方だ。
玉森。
私の言うことを聞け。黙ってはいはい聞いてりゃいいのだ。そうしたらお前は
You won't die. And yet he threw his umbrella into Kanda Bridge.
水上濡れるぞ。
His faded blue uniform was dyed the color of the rain. His hair, his skin, were all painted glossy black.
俺を諦めてくれ。
嫌だよ。
He pulled out a fountain pen from his pocket.
さよならだ。
No! No, Mina, 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 no, Mina. He stabbed it right into his neck. What? Mina, just from a story? I can't function. I can't function. What the actual fuck? What the actual fuck? Pinky, it's okay. Oh my god, what? I mean, on one side, I think I can get a thought of why, but at the same time, like, why? Fresh blood split into Kanda Bridge. He then weakly climbed onto the railing and fell backwards from Pseudo Bridge. The crowd was going by right behind me. No one saw. No one noticed. They were indifferent. Everyone just absorbed in their own conversations. I knew, even though I knew I couldn't admit it. I didn't want to admit it.
自殺だよ。自殺だ。
Everyone had said it.
自殺だよ。自殺だ。
I dropped my umbrella and fell on the spot. For the second time, tears flowed. Even though my brain and my eyes silently understood it was suicide, I was shedding tears over my jealousy of Kyosaku?
中身は物語を途中で投げ出すやつじゃない。先が気になって気になって気になるから。だから水上はいつも本を読んでるんです。その水上が人生の最後に読んだ物語が。
Wasn't my story.
旧作かよ。
Of all people, the one I loved the most, the one I despised the most. Kyusaku Yumeno? Anyone who would do, as long as they stayed by my side. Kawase, Hanazawa, Hakase, they were all fine by me. But
私の地下室の怪人はまだ途中なのに。終わってないのに。なんで。
why? Why did you die? Didn't you want to hear the end of my story? A new fantasy plot? Didn't you want to find out? Were you sick of it?
間違いではない。君もとっくのとうに理解しているはずだ。
間違いに決まってますよ、こんなの。だってだから何かが間違いで何かを勘違いしているから私はこの3日間を繰り返してるんでしょ。私がこの雨にとらわれるのはきっと私が何かを見落としているからだ。
Before I knew it, someone, God, had slowly turned me into something ugly. Following suit, my eyes clouded. Everything clean looked dirty. But
それでもいいか。
I was crying mess at the moment. I must have been hideous, horrid. Someone as rotten as me could no longer bloom into a beautiful flower with just a little watering. After I stood up on shaky legs, I walked as if nothing had happened.
どこに行くんだ、玉森くん。
梅鉢堂に戻るんです。梅鉢堂の水たまりからまたやり直します。
There I was talking about time travel as if it's normal. It may have had nothing to do with Inagami, but giving up on him now meant I have to accept my own worth. That'll be the biggest regret of my life.
ついてきてくれますか。
水上くんを助けるのかね。
いいえ。
To search for a world where I can be happy. Poor Tamamori. I was on the streetcar. I was the only passenger. Or not. Next to me was Minakami, and across from him was Kawase.
なあ、どうだった？怪しいと思わないか？私を雇った古書堂は。
蔵造りでやけにしっかりしているが、
姿を見せない不思議な店主。何やらガタつく地下室の扉。
楽しめるならいいんじゃないか？
俺はあんな狭くて埃臭いところは嫌だね。
ん？
外装だけ立派なのが逆に滑稽だよ。
それはお前の外見と人間性には当てはまる。
I mean, true.
何か言った？
Inakami laughed to lighten the mood.
まあ、寝床が見つかってよかったな。
このまま見つからないんじゃどうしようかと思った。
奥さんに泣いて土下座して許しを請えばどうにかなったんじゃないの？大概の人間はそれで揺らいでくれるでしょう。
お前はどうともしてくれなかったくせにな。
君には涙がなかったからね。
What a brute.
この後どうする？
私は川瀬の家に寄る。預けていたものを梅鉢堂に持っていくのだ。
俺も手伝おう。
預かってるものは5番とかだるまとかガラクタばっかりだ。玉森君一人で持っていけるさ。
ガラクタ言うな。5番は祖父から受け継いだ年代物だぞ。
貧乏の長持ちでしょ。あんな安い木の5番大事にするだけバカみたいだ。
まあまあ。
The streetcar stopped.
じゃあな、水上。また今度。
あ。
と、そういえばな。最近新しい物語を書いているのだ。近々書き上がるから原稿を取りに来い。
ありがとう玉森。楽しみにしてるよ。
How many jumps are there? I'm starting to wonder now. Like, how many jumps do I have to read? So I think I'm gonna stop here. And I'm really feeling bummed out, so I don't even think I have the energy to be yay, except if I meet Hakase, I guess. But yeah, I don't I don't know. It really bums me out. This episode really bums me out. Like everything about it just bums me out. And I feel like shit. So I'm just gonna lay down, contemplate a life, and wash my clothes. Thank you everyone for watching, and I don't know, what are we looking for now? I guess just I don't know. I don't know. Hope to see you in the next one, I guess. Bye.